So I'm getting requests again to see the whiskey wall. And though I've made these videos in the past, it doesn't really hurt to do another one. I guess it's been a while since I've done one of these. Before I get into this, I would like to say that I'm not a big drinker. I like to collect whiskeys, and I do allow myself to drink on occasion. However, I limit myself to 3 a week when I do have them. So in the event that I want to have a social drink, I'm allowed to have 3 for the entire week. I have had moderation issues in the past, and I'm trying to live a safe, healthy, everything in moderation style life. So with that being said, let's check out the wall. Give you guys a quick little bloop through, and then we'll jump into what I got. So while we're doing this, I'm going to talk about the actual whiskey wall itself. This whiskey wall was built custom into the wall to do what, to hold all this. It's got LED lights in it, TVs, things of that nature. I am a Buffalo Trace fan. That's one of my favorite whiskeys of all time. However, trying to find that in stock is stupid because it's not supposed to be a $2,000 bottle, and a lot of places are selling it between like $1,100 and $1,800, and I'm just not willing to spend that kind of money for Stag. I'm just not. It's a great bottle. I love the pour. I'm just done spending that kind of money on whiskey. These Woodford Reserve Master Collections are really good. That brandy cask finish is probably one of my favorite all-time whiskeys, and it's very hard to find because they only made it for a year. See if I can get these last two in one shot. I like that Macallan that's up there. That Blood Oath up at the top is Blood Oath number 1. And then I've got all of them. Running all the way across to 2024. Finding those Blood Oaths was a fucking nightmare because I started buying them when I want to say Pact 5 came out, and I had to go back and find the other 4 secondhand. It was a bitch. Also, these boxes, the number 2 Pact box is thicker than the rest, so this is kind of not really displayed the way that I would like it to be displayed, but I may be making changes to the whiskey room eventually, so that doesn't really matter. Also, shout out to Mr. Sam who sent this to me from when he was at a distillery where he lives. He's doing the Bourbon Trail. I'm still looking for Blue Run 14 year. It's one that I would like to try, even if I don't buy the whole thing. Just to at least get a pour, I would like to try it. I'm a big fan of the Baker's number 7. I have a lot of that. And then all my Whistle Pig up at the top. Also have some down here. I like my Stag Junior a lot too. My morning energy drinks. Now, like I said, I'm not a big drinker. I do like my bourbons. I like the flavors. I will buy them because I love to collect them. But I do have another shelf in the house that I have for people when they come over, because when people want to come over and taste my whiskeys, I don't want them to grab a $2,000 bottle off the shelf and just help themselves freely to a pour because they want to get drunk. Because most people don't drink the way that I drink. And that's where this comes in. So this is the help yourself drink as much as you'd like shelf. Again, I really like the Baker's number 7. This is garbage. It needs to be thrown away. Now, people always ask me, what is my go-to pours? So we're going to hit that real quick, and then I'm going to wrap this up. So my go-to budget, Russell's Reserves. Fucking love this stuff. This is probably my 8th or 9th bottle of this. If I want to sit down and just have a drink and relax, and I don't want to go through something expensive, this is my go-to. You can find this normally for 40 to 60 bucks, depending on where you're. Now, one of my go-tos for when I want some heat, because it's been kind of a day and I just want one drink to take it off, I'll go for this. When you can find this at cost, it's great value. When you find this at $300 a bottle, it's not. When I want to take something that I really enjoy, I'll normally go for that right there, which I found another bottle of, which I'm keeping down in the drawer. I have not opened this one yet. This is the Woodford Reserve Brandy Cask Finish Masters Collection. I've had a good day. I want to enjoy the rest of my evening. And one of those when I'm celebrating or I'm having people over that want to try something. Gotta be honest, I don't touch the Masters collection or the antique collections very often. Those are probably my absolute favorite whiskeys. They're just not worth the cost of the pour. But yeah, Russell's Reserve is kind of my go-to. And I would also like to say the Baker's number 7 is right up there with the Russell's Reserve for me. I'm going to give you guys one more shot of my whiskey wall so you can see it from a distance. As you can see, there are LEDs in there This wall was custom built. This was our recording for the podcast at one point. This is where we would actually sit down and do all of our recording. And I think that we might come back in here and do some recordings that we don't do live on Patreon, because that's how we've been recording lately. And if we want to just have random conversations instead of driving to the studio, we can just record it here, and I can take the SD cards. But I want to start utilizing this room again. I've also thought about putting a couch back here instead of just those white chairs, because there's 2 of those white chairs. Putting a couch back here and hooking up my PlayStation so that when the kids are here, if the kids want to play video games, they can play them in the whiskey room. But with the amount of bottles that are back here, they know they're not allowed in this area of the house. So I don't know if that'll actually happen or not. But there it is. That's the whiskey room, guys.